Last weekend at the Big House 8, I finally had a good tournament run, and I want to talk about it in terms of singles and doubles, as well as just my overall experience, like I always do when I talk about tournaments, so let's just get started. So I was teaming with MVD as always, and Cloud was banned, so we mostly ran Pika-Bayo this tournament, but we did also do some Pika-Diddy. Game 1 we played against Booty and George, which was a Yoshi Corrin team, and we 2-0'd them. Then next we played against Tycho and Fritos, which was a Mario, Lucario, Anubis team, and me and Jesse, we got some pretty early kills, and well, the Anubis wasn't really a big deal. I think they took one stock from us like both games with Anubis, so we pretty solidly 2-0'd them. And to make it out into top 24 winners, we had to play against Daybreak and Slam Shady. I don't know why it's capitalized that way, but it is. And they were playing Ness Falco, and actually we had a pretty close game 1 as far as I remember, but we did solid it out 2-0 to advance into top 24 winners, aka winners quarters, where we had to play against Captain Zack and Mistake. In game 1, me and MVD went Pika-Diddy because that's what we do versus Double Bayo, and that's what we assumed, but actually Captain Zack went Peach the whole set. In game 1 was really close, but they ended up clutching it out. Game 2, MVD and I played pretty solidly, and we ended up closing it out, and in game 3 we kind of gave them the hands. Like, we just had a lot of momentum after winning game 2. You know, we re-solidified our patient game plan, and it was just not a good look for Captain Zack and Mistake, so we advanced into top 8 winners side, where we end up losing to Tweak and Cosmos 3-2. This was like the next day, and honestly I just was not playing doubles well. I messed up a lot of things. Like games 1 through 4 I played pretty well, but then game 5 I messed up two very important things where, like, I went for a Greedy Thunder for damage, ended up hitting and killing MVD, and then later, you know, I tried to save him when he didn't need it, and then he got killed because of it, because he had to like recover in a very specific way, and Cosmos covered it. So we lost game 5 pretty much 100% because of me. So I kind of threw doubles and winners, and unfortunately the story was very similar in doubles, where we lost to Void and the Cat 3-1. I was just hitting MVD a lot. I messed up a lot of combos. I just was not playing too great, and MVD was very, you know, understandably frustrated with me. So it was just kind of like unfortunate. I just kept hitting him a lot. Game 2, or it was games 1 and 2 I kind of messed up. Game 3 we won, and then game 4 I just got comboed really early by Nakat and Void. Like, not really my fault, but just kind of like, oh, I got grabbed at 10 and then I went to 80 and then I died to like a down smash off the ledge. So like, they had an early lead going on, and it was Smash Villain, which was really hard against both Sheik and Ness, so they ended up closing that out. So me and MVD do get 5th in doubles, largely due to my mistakes, unfortunately, because I feel like we could have won winter semis for sure, but that last game, you know, those two stocks were very important, so we ended up losing that. So now let's just go into singles. So in singles, actually my first pool was on Friday after we had finished doubles. So round 1 I played against Paco, who was a Samus Falcon main, and actually went Samus versus me as opposed to Falcon, and I 2-0'd him. The next time I played against Ecalis, and I'm the worst, and I didn't film. For some reason this is the one person that I didn't film and don't remember, but I 2-0'd him, so I'm so sorry, Ecalis. I do not remember who you play. And then to make it out in winter side of my pools, I had to play against Jawad, which was actually a Pikachu Ditto, so game 1 was not particularly close as far as I remember. Then game 2 he's like, what do you ban? And I'm like, oh, Lylat. You know what, actually whatever, like I'm not gonna ban anything. Then he goes Lylat and ends up being like very last hit. He gets the first stock first, which I was not expecting, so it was pretty last hit, but I do end up winning that 2-0 to advance into round 2 pools, where I literally only had to play one set in winners, and I will talk about that later because of the scheduling of the tournament, and that was against Down B's Yeti, and I 2-0'd him. He actually went Dr. Mario Yeti, known as the Mega Man Toon Link main. I'm sure a lot of people know him now after his run at the tournament, beating Void, beating Salem. You know, had a really close set with me, even though it was 2-0. Both games were incredibly close. You know, he definitely, I don't think he did anything game 1 to kind of like deserve the win, but game 2 he actually read like a double jump air dodge back on and got a C-stick nair instead of forward air when I was at like 70 at the ledge, and I'm pretty sure that would have killed, so it totally should have been a game 3 set, but I will take that, and I will take that win to advance into the top 32 winners, where I was supposed to play Captain Zack, but he got upset by the Captain Falcon main Runes, so instead of playing Captain Zack, I played against Runes, and I won that 3-0. Pika Falcon is a really easy matchup. Game 3 he actually went DK, did a little bit better as far as I remember, but either way, both of those matchups I'm very confident in, very comfortable, and I was just able to win to advance into winners quarterfinals, where I had to play against Salem, and I have not played Salem for literally over a year. The last time I played against Salem was at Too Hot to Handle, which was the first time beating him since the first time I played him at UGC, because actually what happened was I beat him at UGC, then he beat me at several tournaments in a row, being there was a Florida regional that he beat me twice, there was GTX, and actually I think that's it. So it was 3-1 his favor, then I beat him at Too Hot to Handle, and then I beat him at Big House 8, I won 3-1. You know, I played just very passive, very hit and run like you're supposed to versus Bayonetta, and again, I'm very, very confident versus Bayonetta. I am the, you know, self-proclaimed Bayonetta Slayer. I've lost like 2 sets versus Bayo in the past year and a half or something like that, or at least like since GTX where I lost to Salem. Like that would have been my 3rd loss going back. So, you know, pretty strong when it comes to Bayo matchup, and I was able to win that 3-1. I won game 1 on Town, he won game 2 on Battlefield, and I won both games 3 and 4 on Lylat. You know, the games were close and I was definitely very stressed because Salem is very, very good at defensive play, so if any point he had the lead, I was very worried about it. And that's why when I got the final stock, which was unfortunate for his end because it was an untechable down tilt, the Lylat slant was perfect, so it like went up, so it actually made him land earlier, so I was able to get a jab lock. You know, I popped off super hard, actually the only time I popped off in the entire tournament, even with my next few wins. And in winter semis, I played against Tweak, who I 3-0'd. The last time I played Tweak was at Low Tier City last year, so like last June, and every time Tweak's in my bracket, I always like lose the round before, or randomly like he won't show up, or he'll randomly get upset for no reason, but mostly me losing. So I was very, very excited to play him. Game 1, he went Bayo. Again, very systematic, very good at the Bayo matchup, kind of just nickel and dime him in 1. Game 2, he goes DK, actually gets the first stock, but I end up closing it out, just keeping him in disadvantage for a very, very long time. I had a little bit of DK, you know, prep against Runes the previous day, or against, I guess, earlier that day, so I was able to win that. And then game 3, he went Cloud, and still I beat it. I was not expecting to beat the Cloud, so suddenly like I win and I was like, oh my god, like I just 3-0'd him, and I just like started, I was like, whoa, that's crazy, because Tweak, you know, especially, like he was the 1 seed since Leo dropped out, and you know, Tweak, one of the best players in the world, you know, I think was ranked number 2 last season on the PGR, so very, very strong player, and I just 3-0'd him after I hadn't played him for a year, so I was very, very happy about that. So I advanced into Winners Finals, where I had to play against Panda Global Brethren Cosmos. And honestly, for me, this was my favorite set to play in the tournament. It was so back and forth. Game 1, he wins pretty handily. Game 2, I win incredibly handily. Game 3, you know, he starts off with a lead, I make a comeback, and I end up winning that game off of that ridiculous quick attack punish at a shield. Like I punished his pin kicking backwards with like quick attack up air thunder, and it just killed him off the top, which was ridiculous, and I normally am not able to do that. Game 4 was a super close last hit game, and he ended up clutching it out. You know, I messed up a couple things, you know, here and there, but of course, you know, I'm sure he did as well because I haven't really spoken to him about the set. And then game 5, he had a huge lead. He ends up getting me to like 100 or something before like I die, or maybe like 95, and I'm like, okay, I can maybe still do this. He hits me a couple times, so I'm at like 110, and he's at like 20, and then I slowly start bringing it back, and by the time he kills me, you know, he's at like 100, so he was at up throw thunder percent, so if I got that last grab, I would have definitely won the set if I, you know, obviously if I read the thunder correctly. And it was just so much fun. Like everything was so back and forth to play. Like in my opinion, that was like the closest set of the tournament. It was just it was so much fun to play. You know, I haven't played Cosmos in tournament since DreamHack Denver last year, so that was about a year ago, so I was very happy to play him again. Game 5, very last hit. You know, I do think that matchup is even, and it showed because it was so back and forth. It was so close. It was so close, but he ended up clutching it out to advance into grand finals, so it drops me into losers finals, where I end up having to play Tweak again. Game 1, he started with Bayo, which I honestly did not expect him to do, considering, you know, I kind of beat his Bayo pretty handily. He actually got off to an early lead. I messed up in up throw thunder. I went for like a wave bounce thunder, and he DI'd it the way that is good for that, so I missed the thunder. He ends up killing me first, and I'm kind of annoyed, but then I end up closing it out. Like I ended up playing very solid and just winning off of little things here and there, and then some combos and blah, you know, Pika Bayo stuff. And then instead of going for DK, he just immediately goes to the Cloud game 2 and actually takes game 2. I had a huge lead, but he ends up getting a really early cross/kill second stock. I think I was at like 65 when he hit me, because I was right next to the ledge, so I ended up exploding off of the side blast zone. And then from that point on, the set kind of changed. Game 3 was pretty close at the beginning. I got an early jab lock setup, and I ended up killing him at like 65 or something. I think I like nared him at like 58, and he died because the nair put him near the ledge. I got a few jabs and a forward smash, and then I ended up 2-stocking him with a crazy read. You know, I got like a quick attack up air, forward air, you know, onto the side of the Smashville platform, and then I run and just B-reverse my thunder, and he jumps into it and dies at like 70 off the top. So I was pretty happy with that, and I look at the camera and I'm like, dude, I'm so good. Oh my god, like it's crazy. Like I'm so good at this game. And then game 4, you know, he went to Lylat, which was kind of an interesting pick. I know Cloud is good on Lylat, but Pikachu, obviously his best stage is Lylat. So I was able to just run circles around him. My mobility was so high. I got hit literally for 8% my first stock. You know, it was a single jab and I got the kill. I think I ended up winning that game with 42 or 48% or something to double eliminate Tweak. I don't know everyone that's double limited Tweak, but I'm pretty sure that list is very small. It probably is something like Zero, Nairo, Leo. I think maybe Samsora did it at SmashCon. I don't know who Tweak lost to in losers, but I was able to do it. I had 3-0, 3-1. I'm very, very happy with that. So now me and Tweak actually have a 2-2 record overall because I lost to him at Smash and Splash and Low Tier City. Low Tier City was a very last hit scenario. So I was very happy that I was able to beat this another top player. You know, I beat Salem, who was top 5 this season. I beat Tweak, who's top 2 last season. So I'm super excited about that, super ecstatic. So I go back into Grand Finals where Cosmos ends up defeating me again 3-1. He wins game 1 pretty handily. Game 2, I get this really, again, a really early kill. I'm on the top of the Dreamland platform. I grab him at like 50 and I go up throw, double jump, up air, B reverse thunder, and it just kind of kills him really early, and I was, again, not expecting that. I've never done that before, so I was, whoa, I kind of like gimmicked him out of the game. Game 3, he wins, and after game 3, I'm like, okay, well, I didn't really deserve to win game 2 because I killed him, like, I was losing, and I got like a really jank thing that isn't really supposed to happen, because I think he jumped into the Thunder game 3, or rather game 2, and so I went Samus game 4 because I'd had success in that matchup before. I know Icy Mist is also a fan of that matchup, but, you know, slowly and steadily, just Cosmos got the first kill and then was able to nickel and dime me, you know, to death percent. I accidentally fast fall, so I was unable to grab the ledge at the very end. So Cosmos was the Big House 8 champion. I got a very respectable second with 2 wins on Tweak and a win on Salem, so I am very happy about that. So my performance was amazing, but unfortunately I cannot say the same about the tournament overall. It is quite apparent to a lot of these Smash 4 players that it is a Melee tournament with Smash 4 there. Every year Melee gets way more attention, way more space, way more just everything, it seems like. Like the staff is so biased towards Melee, and honestly this year was a lot better in terms of it because they actually just hired out the Frostbite staff, being Vayseth and Ori and Josh, you know, to help make it run better, and they did a good job. But at this point, you know, the stigma is there. No one went to Big House. Yes, that's also because Smash 4 is on its decline in terms of the game because Ultimate was there, but Ultimate was literally at the event and people still didn't go just to even play it. Like, there are so many pros that weren't able to go or just didn't want to go to this event because it's been run so poorly in the past. You know, it sucks because we have so many famous moments at the Big House. We had Zero's crazy run, we had Anti's combo, and like there were so many good moments from Big House, but every single year, like every Smash 4 player is kind of just walking around like, yeah, this tournament kind of sucks. Like, you know, it's really unfortunate because it's not like just having a Melee bias makes a bad tournament, because Genesis was a very Melee biased tournament, you know, at least until Genesis 3, but then after Genesis 4, they were like, okay, like we don't necessarily understand it better, we're gonna hire out good staff, and we're gonna make this tournament feel good for you guys because we don't want to just use you for money. And it was very apparent that they actually cared and wanted to make it better, and even if they didn't have the resources to make it better themselves, they hired people that had the knowledge and had the resource and all that, and Big House hasn't done that until this year. And even then, even with Vayseth and Ori and Josh, you know, running it, we still had a really bad schedule because they had to stretch out 280 people to 3 days. So we did most of doubles, you know, up to top 8 day 1, also round 1 pools day 1. My second round pools, you know, was at 8 p.m. on Saturday, and it was only 1 set because I won. Like, I literally had to play Yeti and then I was done for the day. So I don't know, it just felt kind of underwhelming. You know, if it wasn't for the rhythm games, I probably would have just like not really enjoyed the tournament. Also, Ultimate was there and I did get a chance to play that. I played Jubeat a lot, and I know Void played Jubeat a lot, but like the general like air of the entire tournament is just kind of lackluster, and I hope they fix it for next year because I'm assuming they will have Smash Ultimate next year. I assume there will be another one. You know, it sucks to like have a tournament that's like a somewhat under-rep region, although I guess there is also Frostbite in Michigan, but like generally, like I want tournaments to be good because I want the people from that region to have like a good major to go to, and Big House just hasn't been that for Smash 4 ever, and I've kind of said that in every tournament wrap-up I've done for Big House, and this one was better, but still probably the worst tournament that I went to this year, and that sucks, especially because I got second, so I wanted that to be like a good tournament and all this, but I'm kind of just like, I got second, I'm like, yeah, this tournament kind of isn't that great. You know, again, hopefully it is better next year because I really want it to be as good a tournament as all the Melee players think it is for our end, so I don't know, and that's going to be about it for this one. I hope you all enjoyed. As always, social media, Panda, and important stuff is down below, and I will see you all next time.